They're calling him the sexiest shooter of the 21st century. My God, it makes you wish Lee Harvey Oswald had a big too, huh? If there was someone who could reverse everyone's feelings about gun policy in America, it might be that guy. Huh? Guns are bad in the hands of uggos, but in the hands of a guy like that, hold up. I didn't know silenced pistols could be so brat. He understood the assignment, didn't he? His name's Luigi, because you know, that's what makes him brat, is he rolls around the city in a green hat, picking off our corporate oppressors. Pew, pew. That's actually the sound it made when he shot that gun. Pew, pew. He actually might have the rat-ta-ta-ta gun. He might have that in his back pocket. If you are living under a rock and you don't know what I'm talking about, you are probably the family members of another healthcare CEO and you're trying to hide from the impending doom because they have your photos around every major city. Your days are numbered. Be afraid. If you're one of these people that's like, stop. I just want a nonpartisan assassination. I'd stop making it political. I just want gore to be gore. Then maybe you're not so tapped into the boy Luigi Mangina, who knocked off the CEO of United Healthcare. And if you don't know that by now, I'm very curious what your life is. Maybe you just work a regular job and you have children and you go, I don't know, man, I just tap into this show to hear a little bit about surveillance and to hate technology a little bit, in which case I'm not judging you and I retract all of my vitriol up top. But, man, what a polarizing guy. And you know what's even more interesting to me is we don't even know how the gun sounded. It's the most silent. It's like someone getting stabbed in snow. It's just, and the guy goes down. Not that I'm trying to make fun of a guy dying. Or am I? No, I'm dying sucks in that way. It's definitely a brutal way to go. Very polarizing dude. I'm going to do a quick turbo catch up. And I think the best way to do that is kind of the timeline of this guy. And I'll kind of drop in and out of here my little funny quips. So apparently on November 24th, which let's contextualize November 24th. What were you doing on November 24th? Think about that for a second. November 24th is the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So you're probably thinking about all the work you got to get done, or maybe you've already gone on vacation and you're taking the following 3 days off. Well, while you were doing that, old boy was on a bus going to New York, a Greyhound bus, which, with context now, that dude was on a Greyhound bus with a pistol in his bag, rolling with heat. Then 10 days later, the suspected shooter leaves his hostel. He appears on video at 54th Street and 6th Avenue, walking back and forth in an area of the Hilton Hotel where United Healthcare's parent company, United Health Group, is holding its annual investor conference. United Healthcare is the largest provider of health insurance products in the United States. I like how they call them products. These are not products. These are bad contracts. That is not a product. Anyway. Obviously, we all know he went to Starbucks before he shot the guy. Then around 7 a.m., the suspect shoots Thompson as the executive arrives alone on foot, having walked from a hotel across the street. The shooter flees. So he pumes him. Luigi pumes the CEO. Anyhow, December 6th, the gunman leaves New York City on a bus. Between December 5th and 6th, it was, I think, assumed that after he took the shot, he dipped out into Central Park, and that's what helped him escape. December 6th, he essentially leaves. They start searching for him, they being NYPD. I guess I didn't know this. They had scuba divers going in the pond of Central Park. How deep is the pond in Central Park? 4 to 6 feet. So I could drown in that. I'm small enough to drown in that number. It's pretty scary when I cannonball in the shallow end of the pool. You know, my ass hits the base of the pool and my head is a good 4 feet below the water. December 8th, scuba divers are seen again at the central pond. Okay, man, it does not take 2 days to search the shallow end of a pool. I think these guys just wanted to break the gear out. On December 9th, authorities announced they have detained a man identified as 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. So they get him on December 9th. He was recognized in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Altoona, I'll tune you up, is what Luigi's family is saying for hemming up his boy. He was carrying fake IDs, U.S. passport, as well as the gun, firearm suppressor. That is the nice long barrel at the end that makes the bullets go from bang to pew, if you're not a gun person. And then December 10th, I think that's when the clips are going around as he's kind of shouting. He's saying that this is out of touch, this whole situation, and it's an insult to the American people. All right. So really, the timeline is about, 6 days from December 4th to December 10, where he shoots the guy all the way to apprehension. So the conspiracy theories about this guy are up and down the ladder. And it doesn't help that because he is Gen Z, people keep talking about his digital footprint. And people are really getting to know this guy. Apparently he fixed bugs for Civilization 6, and unfortunately that does provide a point of human connection for me, that we're both playing the same game. This is the funniest part. So his Goodreads list comes out, and he's got a whole array of books on there. I think it was predominantly Jordan Peterson-esque stuff. He had some German painters stuff on there, and I think that made him accessible. The array of his just online persona, never mind how he looks, made him sort of accessible to people, which I think is interesting, because I don't know if any other person who's done a crime like this, whether shooting a politician or, some politically motivated crime outside of the Unabomber, maybe. How well have we gotten to know someone like this? Or, how well we know him, or at least know this much about a person who does something like this. Has this ever existed? I don't know. A smarter person can comment below. But his Goodreads list comes out, so people are kind of hacking up his personality, and people are trying to figure out where to place his politics. And, I've heard all kinds of thoughts about him. I've heard people call him an idiot, and that, his motivation seemed to be that he had a debilitating and sort of life-ending back pain, and that kind of motivated him to do this crime. And I've heard people call him dumb and say that he brought that on himself. I've heard people say that we need to uphold this guy because this is a moment of class solidarity. And unfortunately, I cannot read the words class solidarity without an English accent. And I just keep thinking about it literally. I am a class solidarity moment. Class solidarity moment. But I think the biggest thing is he's hot. Out of everything, he's hot. And it's just proof that hot people get away with a lot of things. Right now, we, the people who are pretty online, you may know all this information about him. You know all this information about him getting caught at the McDonald's. You know every single joke tweet that's been made about him. There are still group chats, and I've seen it with my own eyes. They just know this guy is just known as a hot guy who killed someone. He's not even. It's not even that he killed a CEO. It's not even politicized in some people's social environments. It's just this is a hot guy who killed somebody, and I'm fine with the fact that he killed somebody. Which, again, this is not good ammo if you're a uggo. It's giving you social ammo to be like, if I was ugly, no one would be cool with me killing anyone. But this guy kills someone and everyone's like, I still want a conjugal visit. This guy might be the first. He might be the first prisoner with conjugal visits maxed out. The sign-in sheet will be full. He's going to have to start an OnlyFans. Inmate sleeps with 20 women a day for 30 days straight. And his big old smile on the front. JK, we shouldn't make it about sex. Because then all the people on CNN are going to, they're going to use a clip of me. Yeah, right. I wish someone from CNN was watching this show. I did see a clip of CNN reporters trying to minimize people's feelings, because I think that is obviously a big takeaway from this, is that people on both sides of the political spectrum are unified in that they say, good, fuck that guy, and fuck insurance companies, and I don't really have a problem with what he did. And CNN reporters are afraid that they're going to get Boeinged, because I think some of their money may be traced to, Cigna and, a Blue Cross Blue Shield and whoever. And so there's actually, I should pull it up. It's these CNN reporters are trying to minimize people's feelings by going, they're just in favor of this because this man is attractive, which is probably a little bit true, right? But I don't think that's the only reason. But they're trying to make that, at least on their broadcast, the main reason why people are cool with it. This kind of gives a new lane for everyone who's hot. You want to be a hero? You want to grow those followers? Look, Luigi killed a CEO. What's the social media growth? He gained at least 160,000 followers. All right. So if you want to gain a quick 160,000 followers, you could, as a hot person, you could do a trend. You could do a series of trends. Or, not that I'm calling for violence, I'm just saying, murder gets you about 160,000 followers. So depending on your Instagram, if you only have 1,600 followers, I mean, that's like what is that? 1,000x? 1,000% growth? In any other context, that's pretty good. That's terrible. That's terrible. The JK, this is sarcasm. I'm not telling you to. If you're hot watching this, which, let's be honest, none of us are. Come on. We are the sludge of society down here. They're surveilling us. No one is hot here. We are all disgusting. But if you happen to be the one hot person watching this, I'm not telling you to do murder. What I am saying is we have the first plot point as murder, or we have the first plot point for murder as a social media growth mechanism. We have the first plot point. That's what I'm saying. So, I actually had people sending me screenshots of his Instagram before it got deleted. They're like, here. Before old boy got his shit deleted. Now, people were kind of obsessing over things, the backpack full of Monopoly money, the delay, deny, depose. I loved seeing that as live, laugh, love. I can't take credit for that bit. I saw a bunch of people shopping that as a live, laugh, love sign. Very funny. And it's quoting a book, and the book people were saying it got taken down off of Amazon, but you can go put that on your Kindle right now. I think it's really funny that Amazon took down a book because they were afraid Americans were going to read. No, dude. No one saw this and they were like, oh man, that's horrible. You know what I'm going to do in response to this? I'm going to read. Because they didn't even read the full article. They don't even know that book exists. And the ones that do, they probably put on their Kindle and they'll never tap into it. Maybe some of you here listening to the show, I want to read it, but we all know my reading level is about 8th grade, so it'll probably take me 2 years to get through it. Anyway, people are trying to make this guy out to be like a Christopher Nolan of politically motivated shooters. They're like, oh my God, the symbolism. And again, This is probably because he's hot. Apparently his nudes are going around today. Unreal. This guy did murder in the middle of the street last week, and for better or for worse, that's up to you on where you stand. But there's a large group of people going, how about that cock though? It's almost like him doing murder is it's like someone standing in front of what they want to see. It's like this nerd keeps popping in front, like, but he killed someone. They're like, yeah, but oh my God. To be that attractive, I wonder what that's like. This dude is so hot that everyone is saying he has to be a psyop. There's no way. Like, that's how attractive he is to some people. They're like, there's no fucking way, dude. He can't just be a moronic narcissist or something. Or, sadly, I think they're putting out some information that may hint at that he's possibly schizophrenic. He can't be one or the other. Impossible. Because he's too hot. If he was a little unfortunate looking, I think people would go, yeah, schizophrenic for sure. Yeah, what a psycho. Sat there with all the evidence. I think he wanted to get caught. But because he's sexy, they're like, he was paid. Paid to be there. Listen, if he's a psyop and the CIA chose him, they did a good job. Did a very good job. Because you know what everyone's saying right now? They take one look at him. They're like, that's my shooter. Oh, fuck, that's my shooter. That's my guy. Every insecure dude is like, fuck, man, that guy's hot as hell. Yeah, that's sick. I like also that in this scenario, I get to use other people calling him hot as a shield. I don't ever have to put it on me. I could be like, no, other people are saying it. So I can say whatever I want about this guy and just say someone else said it. You know, people are saying like he has absolutely delicious abs. That's what other people are saying. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, DraftKings Casino. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Holidays on the house at DraftKings Casino. With this season's offerings, you'll unwrap everything you wished for, from table games and jackpots to a slot at the top of everyone's list, Jingle Bells Power Reels. DraftKings is offering a warm welcome to new players with $100 instantly in casino credits with just a $10 wager. Plus, everyone can get in on the action with a holiday reward every week. So sign up with code COMPANY because the holiday cheer is here, only on DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Opt-in required. Casino credits are non-withdrawable and expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Folks, I am happy to take a break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, which is Arena Club. For most of us that like collecting cards, us very sexy alpha males, the idea of spending $2,000 or more on a, Mahomes rookie card just isn't in the cards. I love collecting though, and that's some serious money even for my sweet tooth for the sweet, sweet cardboard. But thanks to slab packs from arenaclub.com, now it's possible to score gem mints for a fraction of their retail price. Every card that I listed was hit from last week's Arena Club slab pack drop. Arena Club is the only repack that provides real value, a complete view of all possible cards, and clear hit rates for each one. For all the people at TMG Studios that have weird chins, they also have very sexy hobbies, which includes, but is not limited to, collecting cards. A couple of the folks at the studio actually use Arena Club, and they say they mean it. Every word. They do show hit rates, and when you hit, it hits good. So, if you like the thrill of unboxing mystery packs, maybe you should check out Arena Club slab packs. Some of the guys opened some recently, and they did not hit, but they were hopeful. Arena Club slab packs are revolutionizing the repack game with transparency. After your pulls are revealed, they'll immediately be placed in your showroom for safekeeping. selling, trading, or auction. The Arena Club grading process is accurate, fast, and transparent with a full grade rationale provided and explanation of how your card was scored. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or displaying, Arena Club is the card collecting platform you have to check out. Right now, you can get 10% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/lot and use code LOT. That's arenaclub.com/lot, code LOT for 10% off your first purchase. I did read his alleged manifesto. I read the first one with the Pokemon on it, and then I read the updated one. You know, the opening line, you know, to the feds, I'll keep this short because I respect what you do for this country. A lot of people are saying that is the feds writing to themselves. And I really love that this guy has activated everyone's paranoia and everyone's convictions and everyone's beliefs about the political system. And the accelerated rate that TV and film are going to try to jump on this, we're going to get a series about this dude before the trial finishes. We're going to get Orange is the New Black, and it's going to be all... Because remember, Orange is the New Black, the big thing with that was like the lesbian love. And I guess what Ryan Murphy wants to do a series with this guy, you bet your ass we're getting the other side of it. Ryan Murphy produces The Shot Heard Around the World, and it's going to be Luigi Mangione somehow locked up in a prison, and he's going to characterize deeply right-wing males as closeted, and it's going to be just a political porn fantasy that the family can jerk off to. And also, I love how everyone at every hour of the day, from the point that this guy dropped his mask down, everyone had a theory about him. Just all it took was like a nice jawline to send the better part of America into a frenzy, trying so badly to place this dude. It must be nice to have that level of engagement. I can't wait till he gets back on social media. I wonder if he'll be banned from social media. He probably will be. A lot of his accounts were deleted. I think people took issue with that. It's occurring to me now, this guy's conjugal visits are going to be like a supreme drop. It's going to be people just lining up the first 100, like, sorry, come back next month. And it's just, no. I got here 2 days early and I camped out. I saw someone say that him getting a life sentence and he can't he can't interact with any of the women that want him is worse than the death penalty. Oh my God. Some of you were like really badgering me. You're like, dude, you got to talk about this guy. What is there to say? I mean, that we all don't see already. Let's see. What did Lee Harvey Oswald look like? I mean, you know what? To some people, I think some of the ladies would have liked this guy. Ladies, comment below. Ladies and men. I don't want to, just comment below if you would have boned Lee. If Lee Harv was doing it for you. I want to know. Kind of looks like Peyton Manning. Let's pull up Peyton. Yeah, slightly, not quite the same. The nose is different. But I think they're in the same realm. And people like Peyton. You might find that surprising. I've met some good American women that are like, Peyton Manning is like the sexiest man alive. If I really wanted to fire people up, I actually found one girl on TikTok pointing at Luigi Mangione and saying, ew. She's pointing at her computer and she's going, ew, you think this guy's hot? I think she'd be in more trouble than for anything I said today. I actually think I could get her like doxxed and I could get her fired from her job if I put that clip up right now. I'm going to protect her. Yeah, apparently Luigi, I don't know if you know this, but I saw some deep dives on his family. Apparently his family is very wealthy. They made their money from healthcare. Whether or not that stands, I think that just kind of lends to maybe some of the weird motivations. It is just a fascinating thing that we have this, and then like 8 weeks ago, Trump got shot at, and you have all these crazy world events. And I'm actually curious to see how long this media cycle hangs on to him, because, he's what? It's been about almost a week? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not even. Oh, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. It's been about a week, and not many news stories last a week. So again, I think this lends to being attractive. You just get more attention. More people care about you. If he was busted, do you think people would be digging up his social media, finding videos of him in his robotics class, finding nudes of him? As soon as you're adopted by the gays, buddy, you are the all-star trajectory through the roof, brother. When you can be hot on both sides of the aisle, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone for at least 48 hours really liked this guy. So some blue collar guy in Iowa goes, "Hey man, insurance company's fucking me over. I ain't too mad at what he's done." A gay man in New York at 3 a.m. saying, "This is the guy who did it. I'll suck him right now." Women in all parts of the country going, "I've had worse boyfriends. I've met worse guys. At least he has like passion. At least he he's doing something where he cares about society." I read some of the thirst comments for him, and it reminded me that I'm short. That's what it did. I read those comments and I just laughed, and I thought, oh man, only things you would only experience at 5'11" and up. I don't even think 5'11" you get much of that anymore. I think like 6'3" and up you get those comments. But yeah, what a guy. I'm very, very curious to see how this all pans out. Insane. It is it's like such a, the clip is such a mind fuck, because you watch it and there's not a ton of gore. It feels so disconnected. You watch this guy go down and you're like, wait, what? And it's in 160p, so your brain doesn't even process all the nuance of what the hell just happened. It's just crazy. So crazy. And obviously this has triggered a bunch of really wild things. People putting up photos of other CEOs and all these healthcare companies taking down imagery and names of all the people in their leadership. Those guys used to go every day, breeze through the crowd, knowing that part of what their job would be is a little bit evil, and it was fine because no one cared. But, now they got to go to work in bulletproof cars and wear mustaches with attached to glasses, and they got to put on disguises. They got to go to work now in a big trench coat on someone else's shoulders. Just wild. And we'll see, because now this is the point where people go, yeah, but nothing happens. Capitalism strikes again. I do kind of want to get into some peripheral conspiracy about this. So the whole reason he got caught, supposedly, was a McDonald's employee called the police. The tinfoil hat conspiracy I've seen is that there are people saying that they believe McDonald's actually has some advanced surveillance tech in their various locations, and they don't want to admit to that, so they're just blaming a random employee. God, dude, I have such baby brain. Forgive me for being so stuttery and rambly this morning. I am not sleeping, and I would like to be transparent about that. I'm not sleeping very well. I'm getting sleep. Let me just time out and talk about fatherhood for a second. I've effectively created some degree of the Navy SEALs Buds program in my home. And I don't want to characterize raising a child as horrible. I want to characterize it as fucking awful. No, I'm kidding. It is such this psychological thing where, so the other night, I think I was sleeping in intervals of 1 to 5. I was sleeping 5 minutes every 20 minutes. That's about, I think, where I was at. From 1:30 in the morning all the way until, I think, 11 a.m. the next day. And that is due in part because he wakes up and either he's hungry or he needs a bit of comfort. But actually what it is the maternal, I always use the wrong one. The switch that goes off after you have a kid is nuts. I would like to sleep, but my body will not let me sleep. He can make the smallest sound next to me in his crib, and my whole body, it dumps, like 2 grams of adrenaline, and I'm up. And so a lot of the night, I'm just sitting up, looking at him, making sure he's good. And all he has to do is cough. He just be in his little bed, and he goes, and I get up, and I'm just beaming at him. So I'm trying to get better at relaxing when I sleep. It's very hard because I care about him and I want him to do well. I want to raise him right. I want him to read books and enjoy Pokemon, go to an Ivy League school, and then maybe one day he too will take a little chink out of the armor in the healthcare system in this country. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, yeah, people were theorizing that the McDonald's employee is not real and that McDonald's has some higher tech surveillance available to them that they don't want to talk about, which is conveniently related to none other than the ones known for knocking off their own employees so well, Boeing. I want to read this article because this has my little surveillance whistle hard and wet. Ooh boy. Boeing cancels its workplace surveillance program. Will remove sensors. This came out the day that Luigi Mangione made himself known to the world. Actually, no, that was December 4th. So within the same week. Get this. Boeing announced late Friday that it is canceling a workplace occupancy program that would install camera sensors in its office, which I think most of us would expect in your office, less than a day after the Seattle Times made the program public. Okay, so cameras in the office, not really a big deal. I think a lot of us have experienced that. The last time I was working in an office, we had that. And there was one, I believe, in the hallway to the bathrooms, and I didn't think that was cool, but I digress. The company said in an email that the program has been canceled and we are removing the sensors that have been installed. Now, do we believe Boeing when they say this? Maybe. Hey, we're removing the sensors, but we're still investing in our black site where we will disappear you if you were to say something bad about us or leak that we actually make our airplanes with aluminum foil. The decision followed a negative reaction streaming into managers from employees concerned about their privacy. These sensors, ready for it? These sensors mounted in ceiling tiles above workstations, conference rooms, and common areas consist of motion detectors and cameras, as well as light, heat, and noise detectors that Boeing said it would use to gather data on building use for, quote, managing energy and space usage. Oh my God, shove it up your ass. Shove it so far up your ass. Put a gerbil in there with it and let it come out of your throat. Unbelievable. No, we just want to make sure we're using the right amount of air conditioning. We need to hear if you're getting cold. Unbelievable, dude. Heat and noise detectors. A heat map, let me tell you, Boeing, let me save you $100 million right here. You want to know where the heat map's going to be at? The heat map is going to be in the handicap stall for all employees. Taking a shit on company time, a 30-minute shit on company time. That's where the heat map is going to be. That and identify the hottest employees in your building, heat map, right around their desk. All kinds of people just swooping by. That's where the heat map will be. And then the map that's going to be the hottest is going to be the ceiling after people work at Boeing for 10 years. And they inevitably just... That was a whipped cream whip it. That was me eating whipped cream out of a whipped cream dispenser can. Yum. So I don't get in trouble with YouTube. But despite Boeing's assurances that personally identifiable information would not be gathered, many employees objected to what was seen as unwarranted surveillance. Last week, Boeing informed employees in Everett that this, quote, workplace occupancy sensor system would be installed in the main engineering office towers there. After the Times inquired about the project Thursday, Boeing sent a statement saying it was, quote, pausing the program at all locations company-wide. And you know what this means. Okay, everybody, chill out. Maybe we just do the noise sensors and we put them in the fire extinguishing sprinklers. We'll see if they really pause it. Anyway. On Friday, the newspaper received further information from Boeing employees angry about the prospect of cubicle by cubicle workplace surveillance. The new information, subsequently confirmed by Boeing, included that the system had already been installed at a Boeing office building across the street from Seattle's Museum of Flight and had been in use there since September. So they got caught, and now they're going to pretend, oh, sorry, we didn't know you don't like it when we watch you work. We didn't know that, sorry, oopsie. In addition, an employee at Boeing's helicopter unit in Philadelphia shared with the Times information about the cost of the system. The internal data, dated November 11th, showed that Boeing planned to install 2,180 of the sensors in 8 office buildings at the Boeing Philadelphia site at $472 per unit, a total cost of $1 million. The Philadelphia site is much smaller than Boeing's major facilities in the Puget Sound region and others around the country. Outfitting all of Boeing's facilities with this system clearly would have cost millions of dollars. Now, this would seem like an issue for Boeing, but it's not, because they probably get kickbacks from Spirit Airlines making you pay for bags. I'll cover this more in the next episode, but airlines have been monetizing and intentionally picking people out of line to pay for overhead baggage rates. And get this, flight attendants and gate agents, they were getting commission on that shit. Yeah. So if you had a weird bag in line or a subtly odd bag, and they're like, you're going to have to check that, and they're trying to make you pay, they were getting money from that. These Boeing staffers are lucky that Luigi Mangione doesn't care about airplanes. Anyways, a Boeing PowerPoint deck explained that the ceiling cameras take only blurry photos, and that artificial intelligence then analyzes the occupancy of the space by comparing these indistinct images and infrared motion detection data to a previously uploaded map of the space. Now, you know what's fun about this? Let me tell you a little something about artificial intelligence. Okay? Not that I'm an authority, but I just want to do a fun thought exercise. Now, everyone knows about Midjourney, where you put in a little sentence, Mid-Journey, show me my coworker looking sexy. Show me Luigi Mangione shooting a hot load. Is that too much? That might be too much. Show me Luigi Mangione shooting a hot load onto me and my friends. Please. How does it do that? Well, it takes the text, it builds references, right? I believe. And depending on what engine it uses, if it's utilizing a little something called stable diffusion, I believe that's how stable diffusion works. Basically, what I'm trying to say is AI imagery works by starting with a blurry image and it works backwards. So them saying, oh, no, it takes a blurry image, fuck off. Because what do you do with that blurry image? Do you work backwards and then you start adding detail because you have everyone's employee ID and all these other things attached to them that even though you take the blurry photo, how you process that photo afterward, something to think about. And I know some of you like to call me a conspiracy theorist, but they're in the tiles, bro. They're in the tiles at your work. What's next? They're gonna have fucking smell-o-vision in your chair. There's some creepy guy watching you at work all day, making sure you're working and sniffing your ass. Good little corporate piggy. Keep punching away at those keys. I just want to make you schizophrenic. Remember, I said this an episode ago. I want to make you schizophrenic. That's my goal with this show. You hear that? That's another sponsor of today's episode. Oh, hey, we know who it is. Manscaped. With the holidays creeping up faster than your aunt's fruitcake recipe, I've got something way better to share with you. If you want to look sharp for all those festive gatherings and maybe finally win that best groomed at the family dinner, check out the latest masterpiece from Manscaped, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver. Trust me, like I said before, it's like Rudolph for your face, guiding you to a smooth, irritation-free shave. The Chairman TM Pro is armed with not one, but two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. Think of them as your grooming superheroes. The skin-safe 4-blade foil for when you want that baby's bottom smooth, and the skin-safe stubble trimmer for when you want to keep some stubble but clean it up a bit. Both keep you looking sharp while minimizing razor burn and irritation. Because nobody wants to show up to the holiday party looking like they lost a fight with a Christmas tree. And here's something that's going to make your grooming routine even faster. The Chairman Pro is waterproof. Yes, you can use it in the shower. After you're done doing your face, you can flip it upside down, put it right on your prostate. And the waterproof feature doesn't just make shaving easier, it also simplifies cleanup too. Just a quick rinse under the sink and you're all set. Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code LOT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code LOT at manscaped.com. Hey folks, we want to take one final break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Shopify. When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Heinz or Mattel or Skims, you think about a great product, a cool brand, brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, Shop Pay, which boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/companylot, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/companylot to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/companylot, all lowercase. Boeing assured employees that facilities leadership would be able to see only aggregated data. So you can only see who's collecting by whatever. That would be really satisfying if you're the hot employee and you get to see the aggregated data and the heat map is showing that everyone spends at least 10 minutes of their day by your desk. An employee wrote, Big Brother is watching. Also in this PowerPoint presentation, the quality of these images is so low that personal information cannot be identified and printed documents cannot be read. Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. So this is where, when you develop these things, this is always really fun, is there's always a culprit for who develops this technology. The vendor is based in Cincinnati, Avuity. They sold the sensor equipment to Boeing. They claim that the system is capable of independently monitoring the utilization of 20 individual desks with a single sensor and reporting both active and passive occupancy. You know when you enter a parking garage and they have that little light above the spot that lets you know if it's used or not? I'm curious if you work in a place where they have this stuff. Because I think most employee laptops at this point, they're monitoring what you're doing. I believe that is true. In fact, I'm curious if you work somewhere where they aren't monitoring what you're doing at your laptop. Because I think that's got to be every corporation at this point, more or less. At least the majority. But it's pretty wild to think, like, if your computer is monitored, your footstep, where you physically are is monitored. I mean, what's left? I mean, you may as well just have a camera on your fucking face all day as you work at your job. And then they wonder why people go nuts. In tandem to this, I believe there's a startup. It's another one. And actually, I cover off on something similar to this premise for a company in the next episode. I rearrange things because, that's how attractive Luigi is. I had to move my upload schedule around because I'm like, I got to talk about this guy. Side note, I love when you want to read a news story and you just get the ads on news sites are just so invasive. It is crazy. It is more aggressive than I think what I experienced if I clicked a porn link in the year 2000. It is forcible ads. It is impressive. Anyway, check this out. Startup and Shark Tank famed YesMadam, a home salon and tech-enabled platform for beauty and wellness, issued a clarification on a recent controversy that was stirred after a leaked email claimed that the company is parting ways with employees who indicated significant stress during its survey. In the next episode, I'm actually going to talk about a company that went on an 8-year legal battle, about 8 years, maybe a little bit less, with LinkedIn, because they were offering a service where they were essentially trying to assess flight risk of employees. That's a whole other thing. But basically this company was finding out which of their employees were maybe mentally worn down and deciding, well, maybe it's time you go. No one likes a Debbie Downer at work. Are you sad at work? You're fired. So I kind of get, my little surveillance whistle gets hard and wet for this because when you combine all this stuff, it enables me to characterize corporations as extremely evil and bad, and it fills all my pessimistic vision of how these people run or manage human activity and human capital. It pacifies me. It makes me like, yes, they are evil. I will now go purchase expensive milk chocolate from a local mall and eat it as I rewatch Total Recall for the Christmas holidays. My favorite holiday to spend money on. You think Jesus was thinking of credit cards when he died? You think when Jesus died, he was going, the square readers are going to be burning hot for me. Judas, you dog, you are predicting the world that is yet to come, selling out your fellow man for a few fucking pieces of silver. Go get your family something nice. Was that the start of capitalism? Is Judas the first McDonald's employee? No, Jesus didn't shoot anybody. He turned water into wine. He was cool. Yeah. It does not cease to amaze these days, the news cycle. It's just like, man, it makes TV feel so boring. I started watching that new show on Hulu, Say Nothing, about the Irish Republican Army, the IRA. Get in, bitch. We're gonna battle the Protestant British. No, let me get this right. I can do an Irish accent. Leave me fucking it up in the episode. Get in, bitch. We're joining the IRA. That's what that show is. Get in, bitch. We're gonna go blow up a car. Girlie, get in the car. We're gonna go blow it up. Get in, girlies. We're gonna go get explosives from Northern Ireland. It's a fun show. It's definitely very Hollywood. It's definitely a bit of romanticizing pretty brutal concepts. Let's go protest today. Let's go protest against the Protestants. And then they get nailed by rocks. But they're able to shield from those rocks with a protest sign. Yeah, I started watching that, and it felt so Hollywood that I just wanted to go watch actual footage of IRA car bombs and just read about it. If you know any good, somewhat as nonpartisan as possible, as objective a piece of media as you can get around the IRA, I'd be very curious. Because, something I learned in this whole process is the Irish car bomb drink was created by an American. Leave it to us, baby. Leave it to us. Yeah, it was made by a guy in Connecticut. Which, doesn't surprise me because Connecticut, they do a little something called coffee milk. Do I have that right? Or is that a Rhode Island thing? No, that's Rhode Island. Excuse me. Coffee milk I learned about when I was last in Rhode Island. And that is just, it's just coffee flavoring in milk. And I would call that a bit of an Irish car bomb because they'll feed that to you warm at 1 p.m. in the summer. I guess they've been doing this since the 30s. It's good, though. Tastes good. Yeah, made by a guy in Connecticut. That's how the story goes with the Irish car bomb. But that series did get me intrigued about the IRA. And it's pretty fascinating how Ireland is split into two places, and they still... I wonder if you're Irish, let me know if you think the people would take up for a civil war in the modern era. Could they bring it back? I think that's the moral of every story about political uprising, political unrest, division of people, is everyone hates each other. We all hate each other. For one reason or another, we'd all kill each other if we could. Yeah. That's my big hot take. We all want to kill each other. I want to go back to when I was 11 and all I really cared about was getting a yo-yo, and I thought racism ended. So that's what they told me in school. They're like, racism's over. I'm like, really? And I believed that. I didn't believe that. I actually, that same year, I went on a family trip, and we actually stopped into some town where it was like somewhere in Nevada, and it was the only Carl's Jr. for miles, and we were starving, and we pull up in there, and dude walks in there in a sleeveless t-shirt, and he's got a big fat swastika on, and he's eating whatever they're serving at that time. The Carl's Jr. McDouble. And I remember I stared at his swastika too long, and then he looked up from his food and he had this creepy ass smile on his face. as he wiped the barbecue sauce from his lips. And then I turned to my dad and I reflexively said, Dad, we should go. Well, guys, my brain hurts. I probably said a few things that were offensive and ignorant this episode. And if I did, just remember I'm a flawed human. Now, I know I don't have abs, and I know I didn't go to an Ivy League school, and I know that I didn't pull off the sexiest one shot of all time. However, afford me a little bit of grace. Okay, just go. He's a uggo who wants attention. That's why he's saying all these mean things. Okay, just at least give me that. Folks, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in a couple weeks on another episode of The Company Lot. Goodbye.